You thought I fell off? You're smoking something.
Hi, I'm Marcus J. Richardson.
And I'm Andrew Thorne.
Today we're going to talk about what's probably the biggest fight night of the year so far, would you say?
Absolutely.
It is David Haye versus...
That's not the big one, we need to point out.
Well...
You made it sound like we were about to say David Haye versus Tony Bellew.
I was. I was gonna...
Okay, sorry.
David Haye versus Tony Bellew, the rematch. And also Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo Alvarez, the rematch. Adam, what are we starting with?
2 rematches. Let's start in London.
Now, Haye, obviously, in the last fight, his Achilles exploded. To be fair, he carried on. To be fair on Bellew, he got the job done. Is it going to happen again for Bellew?
I mean, you never know if David Haye's body's going to let him down again. This fight should have been back in December. We ruptured a bicep.
But interesting, looking at him in December and looking at him now,
he's lost a lot of weight.
He's a much lighter David Haye. He's almost back to the same sort of calibre he was when he was fighting Valuev. So he's shredded some back. Do you not think that's going to put less strain on his body?
Yes, absolutely. Of course it will. It's just about, he's getting on a bit now. He's 36 or whatever he is. I like David. I like Tony Bellew as well. I like David Haye. But long been a David Haye fan. It's going to be explosive, isn't it? You know, there's a lot more.
Is
the
it going to be
needle's gone.
explosive?
I think it will be. Yeah. He's Bomber Bellew. I mean, he's got a high knockout ratio as well. He's got big punching power. He's not like the most cut man in the world, Tony Bellew.
He's a bit like
a Tyson Fury.
He's a bit like a Tyson Fury is what I was going to say.
Yeah, all right. Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah. Let's say last time we didn't really give Bellew much chance. Do you think Bellew's got more of a chance this time?
Wait. Tony Bellew absolutely answered sort of all of the critic. Someone asked me what I thought, and I just thought it was going to be over very, very quickly. Credit to Tony Bellew, like he made David Haye get tired in those first rounds, like the way he was boxing. He boxed very intelligently. I think you'll see David Haye box more intelligently.
I'll be honest, I fancy David Haye to come out firing this time, and I think we might see first performance from David Haye for a long time that really shows us what he's got in his locker.
It's weird because I feel like you're more for Haye than I am.
I definitely am.
Yeah, I really hope we do see the best of both of them, because he's had a few problems as well. His brother-in-law died, so he's been through a lot personally, Tony Bellew, and so it's nice to hear him. He's really fired up. David Haye's kind of chilled out a bit, which has made people like him a bit more. I think that I'm going to knock you out in front of your family stuff rankled with the fans.
Yeah, David Haye, I'm afraid to say, not necessarily the most academic individual, but he's probably learned an awful lot from that Bellew fight. I think he's the sort of person who he's learned that extra weight for heavyweight hasn't made him a better fighter. And I think having lost the weight, he's going to be a lot more agile and he's going to have a bit more of that pace, which is what made him the fighter he used to be.
Yeah, no, I agree. That all comes together. We could see an absolute war, a really exciting fight.
I mean, I think this is pretty much a cruiserweight fight now, the way they
could both come in, basically. It's very light heavyweight. But look, David Haye still carried the power at cruiserweight. Look how he ended Enzo Maccarinelli.
And some heavyweights, to be fair.
John Mark Mormet, Valuev staggering around like the town drunk. He put John Ruiz, who was incredibly durable, down and out about 5 times. So
let's stop going on about how good these two boxers are. Let's talk about the fight, who's going to win.
This one is one of the weirdest ones to call, because there's that feeling of, lightning's not going to strike twice. But I actually think it might. I kind of fancy Bellew to do something here.
Bellew
are going to go like that.
Yeah, well, the odds are nowhere near as high for Bellew as they were on that last
fight. Is David
Haye
still the favourite?
Yeah. You fancy Bellew to sneak it then, on points? Or do you think something will happen and it'll end up being a TKO?
They're both big hitters. Something's going to land at some point from one of them. I've got this feeling, having listened to Tony Bellew, he was on one of the podcasts I listened to, the way he was talking, I reckon he knows David Haye better than David Haye knows Tony Bellew. For that reason, I'm going to side with Tony Bellew to be the one to pick a punch at the right time that stops David Haye.
Okie doke. Moving on then.
Skipping across the pond.
Let's go across to the States. GGG, Canelo. Who's going to win that one?
You can't do that to me, man. It's such a big fight. Are you not excited about it?
I am excited. We're going to go into it, but who's going to win?
I think Canelo.
Now, the last one was a draw. An absolute battle, to be fair.
It was also, can I say, a controversial draw. Massively controversial. Yeah. Adelaide Bird's card was, like, ridiculous. I have to say, I thought Golovkin snuck it. And I was backing Canelo beforehand, so I didn't want him to, but when I watched it, I think...
But there was a couple of punches where,
he landed some peaches on him.
Golovkin didn't hit Canelo with the punches that Canelo hit Golovkin with, but Golovkin had more volume.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was a couple of punches that would have killed other boxers.
Canelo landed the exact same punch on Golovkin that he landed on Khan and put Khan, I mean, I know Khan's a lot lighter and even...
Not used to that weight.
Well, and also has, reputation as a glass chin. I think there's a meme of it where Canelo throws that punch, almost like the Hail Mary that Pacquiao throws, but with the right. Golovkin's head moves and he just shrugs and keeps going, and you can see Canelo for a second go, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Why is he still there?
Yeah. You're not knocking GGG out.
Yeah,
I just don't believe you're knocking him out.
I think Father Time might have something to say on this. I think the fact that
it's only a year ago, though. Well, less than a year ago.
He's 36 now, Golovkin, so it could have an effect. He could get old fast. He could just not get old fast, but lose that tiny little bit that he needs to lose. You've got to remember.
How old's Canelo then? 28?
27, I don't think. He just started boxing when he was 16. He's had
the Mexicans start so early, don't they?
Yeah, but they start really young down there. I mean, you've got to bear in mind, Canelo has had over 50 fights. Everything goes on about Golovkin.
He's not unbeaten though, Canelo, is he?
Canelo lost to Mayweather.
Mayweather, of course.
And that, I have to say that, he learned so much from that, because all he did that night was come forward. He added a lot to his game anyway. A lot is made of Golovkin's punching power, but as we just said with the big punch that he landed, he stopped more people than, I know he's had more fights, but he stopped more people than Golovkin. Golovkin's stopped 33 of 37 wins. Golovkin's never been beaten. I just see Canelo as being the better boxer, the better boxing brain.
I love Canelo. I love the way he boxes. I love the way he fights. I love the way that he's such an attacking boxer. It's almost like the battle of two of the best boxers of our generation, and although they've not necessarily been at the top of their game for years and years and years and years, I think we're very blessed that we're getting to see them fight each other. And again, because Mayweather and Pacquiao, when they fought, it was pointless, if they'd have fought at their prime. And it's a shame Golovkin is a bit past his prime now, but I still think he's got that Eastern European structure if he can keep going on. Like obviously Klitschko was still flying up until he was 40.
Do you think Golovkin's going to win?
It's going to be one of those things that if Golovkin can wear him down, then I think he can take it on points personally. It will be a points victory either way.
I agree with you. I think Canelo will win on points, but I can only see a stoppage victory coming if it's Golovkin getting a stoppage. Yeah,
Golovkin will pounce, but this is the thing. I want Canelo to win, but I think Golovkin will win, and I think you're the other way around, aren't you?
I don't know if I'd say the opposite, because I like them both an awful lot, and it's one of those ones where it's almost like you can't always have fighters that you like fighting fighters that you don't like.
No, of course not.
That's just, unfortunately,
that's
it doesn't work like that, So I could be really wanky and say whoever wins, it's a win for boxing.
Hold on. That is wanky. That is double wanky.
I know it's wanky.
Actually, arguably, which is what we're about to go come on to.
Yeah, no, that's what
it isn't a win for boxing if Canelo wins. Whatever excuses he's throwing out there, it's his responsibility not to be failing drugs tests.
Yeah, the old Mexican beef excuse has come out.
How is this fight still going ahead with this drug situation?
Well, I think basically from what I understand is that the levels of... It's all about levels in boxing, as AJ says, although I don't think he's referring to clenbuterol.
No, I don't think he is.
So basically what's happened is Canelo's been caught with a trace amount of clenbuterol, which is a hormone, testosterone. In Mexico, it's used to basically juice cows so they're bigger and more meat. But in boxing, it can be used to strip weight off. I'm not entirely sure how that works. But anyway, now he's been found with such a low level that it is consistent with having eaten lots of red meat. The other answer to your question is because there's loads of money riding on it.
The title's still on the line and things like that.
All the titles are still on the line. To be fair, he's been in all of the anti-doping things his whole career, has never failed once. He's moved from Mexico, where he trains in Guadalajara, to either Las Vegas or to California to finish his training camp, so he's eating clean beef, as
as we like to call it on Sports Tips UK, cleef.
No, we really don't. Cleef, it sounds like queef.
I know, but that's the whole point.
Anyway, I've just got the mental image of eating a queef into my head.
Eat cleef.
So eat cleef.
Your wanky statement makes no sense then, basically, and actually a win for Golovkin is a win for boxing.
A win for Golovkin is a win for boxing, okay, yeah. But I still think if it's a good fight, people will conveniently forget the drug stuff, as
we do.
We do.
So we've got two massive fights there. You think Bellew, I think Haye. You think Alvarez, and I think Golovkin. So there you go.
Really not helping the viewers this week.
No, swings and roundabouts. You've heard what we've said. Have a think what you think. I've put loads of odds there, as usual. Thanks for watching. I've been Marcus J. Richardson.
And I've been Adam Thorne.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.
You're smoking something.